Right, I'm at the main station, at the bus stop outside the main station. I'm going to give you an overview of a lot of different kind of bus stops and things, and it's kind of noisy here, I know. But this is a bus stop. So when you're looking for a bus stop, you need to look for this yellow sign up there. I'll take you slightly further down so you can see. So here we go, here is the bus stop. And let's go around again. There you go. When you get to a bus stop, it will tell you which lines stop here. So this is the 1A going towards Hellerup Station and Clampenborg. So it will tell you, and it will tell you where you are. It will also tell you what zone you're in. So here it says you're in zone 1. So you can find out which zone you're in, which makes it kind of easy as well. And some bus stops up on the pillar above them, which I'll show you another one, they will tell you when the next bus is coming. But at some of the bigger bus stops, they have a screen like this, which will tell you when the next buses are coming, where they're going to, how many minutes they are. Because this is the main station, it's also got the train times down there, which is really useful if you get off the bus here. All right, my bus is coming now, but I thought I'd give you a few tips just as we watch it coming around the corner. Now, by the bus stops often you'll find that there is a cycle path. This lady's about to cycle past. Now, the laws say that bikes must stop and let people get on and off buses. Sometimes people don't, so just be aware that they may try and whiz past. Now here comes my bus. This is a bus where you get on the front door and you show your pass as you get in, or you check in with your blue punk. So let's get on the bus. On the bus you have check-in and check-out points. This is a check-out point. The check-in one is at the front of the bus. I'm going to give you a little view out the window and talk to you a little bit more about that. When you get on the bus, if you have a blue punct or the blue dot bus pass, if you want to put more than one person on the bus with you, then you ask the bus driver, don't beep your blue punct yet, ask the bus driver, he will add more people on, and then you can get on the bus with them. And then remember, you just check out for one of them. Some buses, now this one as you saw was a front loading bus, where you show the bus driver your ticket as you get on. Some of them, the 4A, you can get on at any door and you don't need to show the driver your bus pass, but you do need to check in or check out. The 5C bus is a bendy bus and it has multiple doors, and you can again get on any of those, and it's your responsibility to make sure that you have the right ticket to ride on that bus. But most of the buses are front entry, so you get on the front door and you get out the middle or the back door. As you can see, there is a lady in front of me with a pram. There is space on the bus for 2 prams or wheelchairs as well. If the bus already has 2 prams on it, he will shake his head and say, no, you can't get on the bus, and then you just have to wait for the next one, which can be a bit of a nuisance, but it's good that buses on there. And sometimes if the bus driver sees you coming with a pram, he will lower the bus for you to get on and off. And there's also a specific button you can press when you want to get off the bus that says you have a pram, which means that the bus driver is aware that you have a pram, and then he will give you a little bit of extra time, maybe lower the bus for you to get off. So that's on the bus. I'll show you a few more bus stops just so you can get a handle of how it all works. Now I've got off the bus because I was on the 1A that you saw earlier, and this is a different kind of bus stop. These are the normal ones that you see that don't have bus shelters, and you can see on there that there's a ticker that's telling you when the next buses are coming. Now only one bus stops here, which is the 1A, so you can see one's coming in 1 minute to Clampenborg and one's coming in 6 minutes to Hellerup Station. So that gives you an idea. Now if there are more buses that stop here, you have more of those red or blue bars with the number on it, and it will say on the ticker when it's coming. So it gives you a good idea of how long you've got to wait for a bus. And look, I thought I'd show you what a 4A bus looks like. I've mentioned it about how you get on the middle doors, and here's one coming around the corner now, and we're going to walk up and get on it. So the front, you can get on at any door on this bus, but first, as it says, first out then in, so you let people get out before you get in. So here we go. Now we have the last bus that I've talked about that's a bit different to the other ones. This is a 5C bus. It's pulling in outside the main station here. Now as you can see, it's past us, but it's got lots of doors all the way down it. It's a bendy bus. It's the only bendy bus that we have here in Copenhagen. So the sun's really bad here. So you can get on and off the bus on any of the doors all the way down. You have to press the button to get on them. They don't open automatically. But that is the bendy bus. There we go, and off it goes. I hope you enjoyed those video clips of travelling on buses in Copenhagen. I decided to make this video because a number of people have asked me about travelling on the buses, and it is something that can be quite daunting. I must admit, when I first moved here, I found travelling on buses a bit more troublesome than going on the metro or what have you, because you just don't know when it's going to be your bus stop and it seems a lot more public. So I thought I'd go through a few tips and bits of information about how to use buses, particularly in Copenhagen, more successfully and less stressfully. So the first one is when you're waiting at the bus stop. Now, in some countries, particularly in the UK, you would raise your hand to get the bus driver's attention to say that you'd like him to stop. Don't do that here, because often they think that you're going, no, waving them on, that you don't want to catch the bus. So just stand very decisively at the bus stop when the bus comes up, so he knows that you want to get on. But equally, if you're at a bus stop where there are a number of different bus lines stopping and you see one coming that isn't the one you want, if you do a little shake of your head as the bus driver comes up, if you're the only person at the bus stop, then he knows that if he doesn't have passengers to get off, he'll just go straight on by. Planning your journeys. Now, buses again seem to be a little bit more of a mystery than perhaps trains and metros, but you can use the Rejseplanen or the Journey Planner website. I'll put the link, you can see, I'll put a link somewhere on the screen for you to see, and it'll also be in the notes below. But yeah, use the Rejseplanen, the Journey Planner. It's the same with all the public transport, it's all integrated in there. So if you want to just see buses, you can select where you can refine your search, and you can just select just buses. But the good thing about the Rejseplanen is that if you do it on your phone and you've got your journey up there, you can click on a kind of drop down arrow and it will show you the bus stops between the one where you've got on the bus and the one where you need to get off. So you can actually count them down as you go past them, and then you know when to press the buzzer to get off the bus. Bus stops say where they are. So if you arrive at a bus stop, the top of the pillar, we saw them on the video, the top of the pillar will say the name of that bus stop. So as you're coming up to it, if you're not totally sure and perhaps there isn't a light board inside the bus to show you the bus stop, just you can peer out the window and you can see where that bus stop is. Getting off the bus, when your bus stop is coming up, you want to get off the bus, you press the button, the stop button. Only press it once, you only need to press it once, and it will light up and say stop on the screen on the bus. As I mentioned earlier, if you're travelling with a buggy or a wheelchair or something like that, you can press the blue button that's got a picture either of I think it's got a picture of a pram, something obvious on it. Press that, then the bus driver knows that you're going to take a little bit of extra time to get off the bus. Again, when you're on the bus, the first few seats you'll notice have a little sign, like on most buses in most countries, saying, these are kind of priority seats. So only use those seats. If it's a busy bus, leave those seats for people that need them, or be ready to give up your seat. You will find on Danish buses, nobody wants to sit next to each other. So as soon as you get on the bus, then people will fill up just singly down the bus. But then if it's busy, of course, sit next to somebody. But you will often find that. And if someone's sitting on the outside of the seat, which people often do, if you just say, oh, excuse me, can I? And they will often move across or stand up and let you go in if they're getting off the bus. They might think the next bus stop or something like that. The buses, just a bit of practical information. Now, you can find out about buses on the Rejseplanen app. If you're living in the city or you're coming to visit, you can pick up a paper map of the city, and it has all bus routes marked on it. Now, even in modern times where we have smartphones, I still think these maps are really, really useful because they give you an idea of geography and also where the buses actually run. Maybe you want to jump off the bus, stop sooner because it's going past somewhere interesting. So definitely try and get your hands on one of those. You can get them at the tourist office at the main station, in hotel lobbies, various different places, and tourist information, the main one obviously near Tivoli. So just look out for those. You often find them places, and I think they're really useful. Now I'm going to look down at my notes. I want to get this right because there are numbers in it. I'll talk you through, there are three main types of buses, or four main types of buses, I guess. A buses are the main buses. They're the frequent buses. They run 5 to 7 minutes, every 5 to 7 minutes during rush hour, or 3 to 7 minutes, during rush hour. And after that, it's like every 10 minutes. But often they're really, really frequent. And these run all the time. They're 24 hours a day. They run the A bus routes. And they tend to be sort of more in the central area of the city. And they have frequent stops as well. So if you are on an A bus and you miss your stop, it's not going to be the end of the world. Next, you might see S buses. Now, when I showed you the pillars at the bus stop, it will say at the top, the numbers of buses that stop there and what type of bus they are. S buses tend to travel slightly further out of the city from the middle of the city. They're faster buses because they have fewer stops, and they run every 5 to 10 minutes during rush hour and every 20 minutes outside of rush hour. But like I say, they're faster, they have fewer stops. So, for example, if you go to IKEA outside Copenhagen in Gentofte, you can catch an S bus there. And then there are night buses, which you will be able to see. They'll have a number like 85N, and they run between 1 and 5 a.m., hence being night buses. So I think there are a lot of tips that I can give you about travelling on the bus. The ways to pay for your travel on the bus is the same as all transport in Copenhagen because it's integrated. The cheapest ways to travel, of course, if you live here, is to have either a monthly pass or the blowpunkt that you check in and out with, and that will get you the cheaper fares. And if you're traveling here as a tourist, you can pick up like a 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour travel pass, which covers you for all of central Copenhagen, all forms of public transport, or you can get like a city pass type thing that gets you into 85 attractions as well. I did miss something out slightly, so I'll just go back a bit. When I was talking about the buses, I missed out to talk about the C line. We only have one, it's the 5C, and that's that bendy bus that you saw earlier in the videos. Just a couple of extra things to add. One thing I would say is if you are unsure about what bus stop you need to get off or when it's going to be, when you get on the bus, if you ask the bus driver, say this is where I need to go, maybe show him on your phone or something like that, the bus driver, he or she will shout, maybe if they're kind, which they probably are, they'll say this is whatever bus stop when they're coming up to it, so you'll know, and they're often really, really helpful. The other thing about travelling with buggies and prams, you come in the middle door of the bus if it's a normal 3-door bus, but you don't come in the front and go around, so you can go straight in and then go down to the bus driver, show your pass or check in, and there is a button normally on the outside of the buses as well that might have a picture of a pram on. If you push that when you come up to the bus stop, then he'll know also to open those doors if he hasn't opened them already for you to get your pram on. And the other thing that I wanted to mention was also ticket controllers, ticket checkers. They do come on the buses very, very frequently, as they do in all public transport. So be ready to show your pass. Now, this is a very pertinent point. If you're one of those people, which I hope you're not, but if you're one of those people who thinks that the 5C bus and the 4A bus, the ones where you don't have to walk past the driver, that you can not pay for your journey and risk it, well, they come on a lot, particularly on those routes, because they know people think that kind of thing. And, if you're caught without a valid ticket on public transport in Denmark, it's a 750 kroner fine, like 70, 80 pound fine, which is quite a lot, I think, compared to buying a ticket. And they don't really take many excuses. You can appeal it if you think that you've genuinely done something wrong, but quite honestly, you get that ticket, you're going to have to pay that ticket. And, don't travel without a valid ticket is my advice. So I hope these tips have really helped you out and made you feel a little bit more comfortable about travelling on buses in Copenhagen. Buses, very, they run frequently here. They're clean, they're safe, as you would expect on any kind of public transport. Do keep an eye on your bag, particularly on busy buses, because, pickpockets like busy places. So just be vigilant and be aware of what's going on around you. So until next time, I hope you found this useful. Please do leave me any comments below, anything else you'd like me to talk about, anything that you think might be useful, or any comments you have on today's video. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any further videos.